That's correct. We're not permitted to go early. The whole thing can be quick, but we can't start earlier than 1:35 because of satellite time. Before we get started, just a reminder to please turn off all cell phones. Flash photography is not permitted inside this room, and there is no video of any kind is permitted, including cell phone video. When asking a question, please identify yourself and your media organization each and every time you ask a question. When asking a question of a student athlete, please try to direct your question to a particular individual who is up here. This is the 1:35 p.m. press conference with Duke. Number 4 seed Duke will play number 15 seed Yale on Saturday at approximately 2:40 p.m. We are joined by Duke student athletes Grayson Allen and Brandon Ingram. When asking a question of a student athlete, again, please identify yourself and your media organization each and every time. Questions for the student athletes? Rick.
Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Grayson, just talk, you anticipate a real change of pace from Yale than you got from Wilmington?
I think the game will be a little bit different. Wilmington really likes to put pressure on you for 40 minutes, and really that speeds up the pace of the game. A lot of shots are getting up. Guys are running up and down the court. Where Yale is different, but still a really good team. They're not the pressing team that Wilmington is, but they are a very solid defensive team, one of the best rebounding teams in the country. And then offensively, they're sharp. They have a great scorer in Mason and a great big guy inside with Sears, and they're going to be a really tough matchup.
Questions for the student athletes? Question right in front.
Jacob Mitchell, Yale Daily News. Do you have any, to Grayson, do you have any takeaways from the first game against Yale in November?
It's tough to really look at that game at all just because both teams are so different now. It's really like two different seasons from them to us playing them now. So we can't look much into that game. They're a completely different team since then, and we've grown as well too. So the game was almost like two different teams playing, and so we have to look at what we've done recently.
Questions for the student athletes? In the back, yellow shirt.
Aaron Schoonmaker, WRAL, Raleigh. For Brandon, you had come off 3 kind of tough games before we played Yale the first time. That was kind of the start of 25 of 27 consecutive double-digit scoring games. What was it about Yale that you saw that kind of projected you into the season you've had?
I think just me starting off slow to the season, and I think I've worked very hard as well as Yale to get to the point where I'm at right now. So just working very hard and just seeing the problem that Grayson had in his freshman year, him coming off the bench and just showing sparks of his potential. I just know I had to get back in the gym, work hard, and just get ready for the next battle.
More questions? Bill?
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Brandon, I hear players talk all the time about how the NCAA is a different level, it's a different intensity, it's a different feel out there. You certainly didn't seem to have any problem with it. I wonder, just mentally, how you prepared yourself for that first game.
Just listening to my teammates. We have guys that have been here before, and just listening to the leaders on our team. Just developing confidence over the season and knowing that I can play with these guys and just adjusting to the physicality of the game.
We have a question over here.
To Brandon, Andy Katz from ESPN. What makes you such a tough player to defend?
Back to the basics, just my teammates around me. They drive and kick the ball to me. I'm able to shoot the ball and able to get around slower defenders. So I use my length a lot, and I try to use my quickness around slower defenders.
More questions for the student athletes right here.
Hi, Cameron Kaufman, WYBC Yale Radio. Brandon, Yale had a great game rebounding against a very physical and large Baylor team. What have you guys been planning to do to try and combat Yale's rebounding edge on both offense and defense?
That's definitely a point of emphasis for us, being that rebounding is a weak point for our team. Just having a sense of urgency going into that game, just knowing we got the offense to rebound and defense to rebound.
More questions for the student athletes in the back?
James Badassi, Yale Daily News. Grayson, you talked about 2 different teams from November to now. You matched up against Mackay back in November. You had 31 points yesterday. Have you seen anything in him and his growth over the season that you've seen personally?
I think with how their team is now, he's doing a great job of handling the bulk of point guard responsibilities, creating for other guys, but at the same time, he's doing a great job of pulling up and finding his own shot within their offense. Yesterday he had a lot of tough shots, tough pull-ups, and that's the kind of player that he is. He makes tough shots, and he's really crafty with the ball, whereas it's going to be tough to keep him in front one-on-one. So for us, it's going to have to be a team effort against him.
More questions? Andy?
Grayson, how would you compare the difference for you personally a year ago when you were much more of a role player to now where you are expected to produce and one of the leaders on this team?
It's different. Just the atmosphere around you personally is different. Last year I wasn't up here answering questions. I'm back in the locker room, and when the game time comes around, I'm not starting out running onto the floor. I kind of get some time on the bench to collect myself. But and this year there's a lot of pressure. We have guys that we only have one guy on our team that's ever started a tournament game before yesterday. So it's a learning process. But for us, we can't be timid, can't be tight. We just have to come out here and play free like we have all season. Just be confident.
More questions? The yellow shirt.
For both you guys, or
Please
Aaron,
identify yourself again.
Aaron Schoonmaker, WRAL. For both you guys, Coach K was hired 36 years ago today. Can you guys talk about playing for him, what it's like for you guys as individuals, knowing you're part of that?
It's a huge honor to be coached by one of the greatest coaches of all time, regardless of sport. He's a tremendous leader and teacher on and off the court. For us to be a part of that, we have to really. There are some days where you just kind of realize it and take it all in that you're a part of a great legacy by a man who's been a great coach. And so for us, we need to take full advantage of that while we're here. We're all ears, listening to everything he has to say, every suggestion, and he leads by example so much because his competitive fire is shown every day. We see how hard he's working for us, and so we want to do the same for him.
For me, it's a tremendous honor. I know for myself and my teammates, he develops a lot of opportunities for us. Just having the depth of guys that we have, and just being able to fight and be tough under his coaching, and just listen to him. I think everything he says is golden.
More questions? Over here.
Bill Koch for the Providence Journal. Brandon, Marshall had a great game yesterday, obviously 23 points, a career high. Is there any discussion in the locker room about maybe playing for him since this is his senior year and his last chance?
Most definitely. I think he's the anchor of our team right now, and just us feeding off his emotion going into games. We see how hard he plays every game, and we try to match his intensity.
No way to question the front.
For Grayson, this is Tim Britton with the Providence Journal. You guys have played a fair amount of Saturday, Monday games the last couple of years. How does that prepare you for kind of the one-day turnarounds of the tournament?
Just a short recovery time, and it's something that we have to really focus on what we're doing in between games because we do have a very short bench, and we don't go very deep as a team, and a lot of guys are playing almost the entire game. So for us, it's important to get our bodies right. It starts immediately after the game, and not only our bodies, but to get mentally focused. I mean, we have to move on from playing a tough Wilmington team to now scouting a very tough Yale team. And so for us, we have to be mentally focused on this day in between that we get and get ready for them.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Okay, last question.
Aaron Schoonmaker, WRAL. The Yale game earlier in the year was kind of the first time you guys had featured the zone, that you went to that 1-3-1 kind of to match up. How comfortable are you guys seeing that zone now that the year has gone on? And are we going to see more of the zone or the man-to-man, or is it two different matchups?
We're very comfortable in our zone. We do have a bunch of different defenses that we can use. For us down the stretch, we've been primarily a man team, and that's what we would like to play. I think at the end of the day, that just comes to stopping your man. And I think we have a very young team, and as we've grown older, we've learned more about our principles and applying them in the game, where to be on help side. And so our man defense has gotten a lot better, and that's our primary thing. But we also have our zones in our back pocket.
Okay, thank you. Coach Krzyzewski is on his way to the press conference.
smiling faces.
We are now joined by Duke head coach Mike Krzyzewski. And Coach, would you please begin by making an opening statement?
Yeah, well, we're in pretty good health. That was a very taxing game yesterday. Wilmington made you work every foot of the court, offensively and defensively. I'm still amazed at the showing. They had a winning performance, and that tired us out. But having a day in between has helped us out, and then we try to make sure we didn't do anything physical today. It's all mental preparation, stretching, making sure that we recover, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine tomorrow. Nobody got sick. Although Nate James, one of my assistants, has been sick. We've had to keep him away from the team. He's in the hotel room because he, but thank goodness it's one of us, not one of them. So we're good, and we're ready. We'll be ready to go.
Questions for Coach Krzyzewski?
Hey, Coach. Aaron Schoonmaker, WRAL. You realize you got hired 36 years ago today. Been a long, successful run for you. Can you just kind of address what it's been like?
No, it's been great. I've been really lucky to be at two of the greatest institutions in the world. My alma mater, the United States Military Academy, as a cadet, and then as a coach for 5 years, and then Duke for 36 years. My mom always told me, make sure you get on the right bus, and that I got on two really good buses, at West Point and Duke, and they've stuck with me, and I've stuck with them, and it's been a great partnership, and I never would have realized all the great things that would happen for us as a program. But again, when you're with really good people in a good neighborhood like the ACC, stuff happens, and thank goodness, most of it's been great stuff for us.
Question over here.
Mike, Grayson was just up there.
Just remember to identify yourself,
sorry.
please.
I know you go with the president and everything. Sandy Katz.
From ESPN. So Grayson was just up there and pointed out that only one player prior to yesterday had started an NCAA tournament game.
Right.
How has that inexperience at times shown itself this season?
Well, I think the main thing, Andy, it shows up when we don't have good talk on the court. Our kids have always, they have great attitudes and really easy to coach, or good to coach, not easy all the time. But when they get silent, and that's what happens with younger players, they're talking to themselves. What am I supposed to do? How do I feel? I missed a shot. And when they're talking to each other, they get immersed in the game. And I thought you could see yesterday we were not talking. And in the second half, we were talking. And it's just a habit we try to teach. But when 3 of the kids are 18, 4 of the kids are freshmen, that's something usually an older guy does better. And that's why, as well as Marshall played in that second half, Marshall talked. And that set a good tone for everyone else to talk.
Questions? Question in the back.
Gabriel Zanutini Frank, WIBC Yale Radio. So one of the keys to beating UNC Wilmington was slowing them down and making them run offense in the half court, whereas that's where Yale's at its best. What pace would you like to play at tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't think anybody slowed anyone down yesterday. I mean, it's 90 to 90 because they kept attacking. Yale will play any pace because they're that good. So we're not going to slow them down, and I'm not sure that they will slow us down. I think it'll be a fairly it could be a high-scoring game because they score well, and so do we. And a big thing for us all the time is rebounding. And Yale is a terrific rebounding team on both ends. One of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. So we got to be able to hold our own then.
We have a question right here.
Just Julian Bimbo from the Boston Globe. Just curious, obviously yesterday was Yale's first ever win in school history, but the Ivies won 5 tournament games the past 6 years. And not that you've seen them a ton, but you've seen them before. Can you speak at all, and just seeing what the Ivies done in the tournament to the strength of that conference?
Yeah, well, actually, we follow the Ivy League really close because Tommy is coached at Harvard and has done such a great job, and he and I are like father and son. I mean, we're as close as you can be, and in the off season, especially, in the last few years, we've talked about the competition in the Ivy Leagues and how many good teams there are, how many good players. The level of talent in the Ivy League has risen, I think, in the last 5 or 6 years, and it's shown with what Harvard's done, Princeton, Yale, obviously. I mean, Yale, they have 3 first-team All-Ivy players and a 2-time Player of the Year. So, the Ivy League is a terrific league, and we respect it. And remember, they're going to have, like, Yale's older. They're not just good, but they're good together. And that's the best way to be good, because then there's another people on the court who've done it at a high level with you. And I think, that's what the Ivy League teams have shown.
You've got a follow-up question, Julian?
Is there a way for that respect among coaches and among people in the game to sort of translate into, say, the selection committee?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part.
Is there a way for that sort of respect from coaches and around the country to sort of translate into the selection committee almost,
Well, the selection committee has a tough job. I mean, this isn't a football bowl. We're 70 out of 110 school. You become bowl eligible as soon as you win your 6th game. For every coach who coaches college basketball, it runs till the end of the season. You got to win all the time. And so that selection process is difficult. And so much depends on what you do if you're an Ivy League team in the non-conference. And a number of those teams, Harvard and Yale especially, have tested themselves and gone out and played these tough games. And then if you're successful, if you do a good job, you win. Then you're going to have a better chance of getting 2 in. But it's tough to get into this tournament. And every coach who coaches college Division I men's basketball knows that. And I know even doing the tournament, everyone's about brackets and all that. Look, there's a lot of emotion for each one of these teams. I know people buzz it off sometimes, say, well, they busted my bracket. Well, we're sorry. I feel, what about Purdue? What a tough loss. And that's how we end all but one of the teams. We don't have 35 or 36 or 37 bowl winners. We have one team, and so it's difficult. To my brethren, my brothers in college basketball, my hat always goes off to them because they, this is tough, and that's what makes the tournament so great, because it's so difficult to get in, and once you're in, it means so much. It means so much. So we know what it means to Yale. We also know what it means to us. Everyone wants to always talk about what we've done. My kids haven't done that. This is, for a number of them, this is their first time. It doesn't make any difference how many times I've been in. It's what they're doing right now. So what else captures the whole country? War. Poverty doesn't. Fight against cancer doesn't. The election doesn't. For 1 month, college basketball unites the whole country. I mean, it's an amazing phenomenon. I mean, That's why anyone who's ever thought about changing, like, should we change it to this? And, you know, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. It's too damn good. It's too damn good.
Thank you. Andy?
Does
To
he
the-
get 2 questions because he, like, does the president? Or?
It was my last time, so, you know.
Yeah.
There are term limits.
It's good. It was getting a little bit old.
Yes.
It's
It's a good run, 8 years.
No, it's not gotten the coverage.
Yes.
It's not gotten the
We try to
coverage.
downplay it.
Yeah. Well, I think people just downplay it. Yeah.
To that point, Purdue, Little Rock early in the year, likely would be in West Lafayette, Duke, Yale. Outside of the neutral court, what makes the NCAA tournament such a great neutralizer?
Well, yeah, it's all about matchups, though, and you know, so, you know, the neutralizing thing is for the teams from the big conferences. You only get 1 and maybe 2 champions. So you have a bunch of teams in who are good and have gone through a gauntlet in the conference, but they haven't experienced being a champion. And so I haven't counted up because I'm coaching my team, but how many champions there are. Obviously, every automatic is a champion. And that brings that's a neutralizer. In other words, those kids from Wilmington, they were double champs. They've been accustomed to walking out on the court and winning. Their ego is good, it's collective, they're together. Their faces were unbelievable. And that's a big neutralizer. And they're usually a little bit fresher than some of the teams because they've been the best team. And at this time of the year, mental, physical, you know, and then accomplishment, I think those are neutralizing factors in the tournament.
Question right over here.
Peter Mayer with the New York Times. Mike, did you recruit Makai Mason in any way, shape, or form? And if you did, can you tell us how that all went?
Yeah, well, we knew of Makai, you know, and his background. He's grown up in basketball, and I'm not sure that we would have recruited him. I'm not saying we would have offered him, but you know, just there's a kid playing for Minnesota right now that we named Tyus Jones, who would be a sophomore right now. So I mean, you can't recruit unless they increase the number of scholarships. You know. But no, we were very impressed with him, and we're not surprised about what he's accomplished. You know, like we've been fortunate. There are a number of kids that we have looked at or not recruited that end up being really good players, and he's really good. But you know, Tyus, that commitment that we had to him, we didn't look at any other guards. Actually, we didn't look at any other guards for a couple of years.
More questions in the back.
Cameron Kaufman, WIBC Yale Radio. On Makai, how are you planning to stop him on defense after everything that Baylor threw at him didn't seem to work? He scored a career-high 31 and really shot down their zone in the first half.
Yeah, I don't think you go into a game thinking you're going to shut down anybody who's good. You know, what you hope is to make it as difficult as possible for their team, not just one guy. And that's what we're trying to do. I mean, our game plan is not going to be to stop one person because they didn't win the Ivy by one person, although he played great yesterday. But one of the keys for us is limiting them to one shot because they get so many offensive rebounds, and then trying to make that whatever shot they take, whoever takes it, a lower percentage shot. And that's how we approach every game.
Question, Bill?
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Coach, players react differently to certain pressure put on them in certain situations. I wonder if you could speak to the way Brandon Ingram reacted to his first NCAA tournament experience and the way he played yesterday.
Yeah, really well. You know, I mean, that's the way he's reacted the whole year. He's been a beautiful kid to coach, and you know, we go to him. Yeah, I'm not sure how many freshmen in the country are isolated as much as we isolate him, and because he can make plays. He can make plays. And when he is defensive rebounding, he did that yesterday, especially in the second half, but when he gets 6, 7, defensive rebounds, then he can bring that ball up the court, and that isolates him. So, we give him a lot of freedom, and, he's earned it. But, he's not a nervous kid. He's had a terrific year. No maintenance kid. A beautiful kid. It's just a beautiful kid.
Questions right up in front.
Tim Britton with the Providence Journal. The last couple of years, your team's played a lot of Saturday, Monday quick turnarounds. How does that prepare you for the one-day turnaround in the tournament?
No, it's a good question. With we get a lot of that, and you end up not knowing what Sunday is, which is too bad. I mean, that's too bad. Really, what is exacted from a youngster who plays at least in our conference, is a big commitment, because they hardly ever have a true day off for a number of weeks, because even if you give them a Wednesday or a Tuesday off, it's a school day and they can't get away from it. But people make a lot of money, and again, I make a lot of money, and that I'd make a lot of money if we didn't have the TV contracts. But for college sports, they make a lot of money, and so Saturday, Monday is a necessity, and but it does help you prepare for something like this, because in between games, what we've been doing for the last 2 months or month and a half has been kind of like the NCAA tournament as far as rest and preparation.
We have time for one more question over here.
Dana O'Neill with ESPN. Mike, a lot of people are talking about Yale versus Duke and the academic rigors. You went to a place that was pretty rigorous for college. How hard is it to do that? And I mean, when you look around and you see kind of what your guys are going through and what probably the Yale guys are going through, how much do you admire that?
Well, I admire it, but I would hate to characterize that Duke and Yale are the only two schools that have kids who are going to school and going through the rigors of academics and athletics, or the opportunities of athletics and academics. I think it's all about whatever school you're at, is creating a culture where both are identified as important, and then the discipline they learn from handling both of those things, I think, is a huge lesson for these guys. A long time ago, it's 50 years ago, when I was a cadet, I looked forward to playing basketball, and it gave me balance along with what else I was doing. And I think the tournament is about, again, we sometimes just focus on kids going pro, but the tournament is about what sport does in combination with academics. And they're both incredible learning experiences, and then when they're incorporated together properly, those youngsters are at an advantage. And that's why you would like to see throughout our country the funding that is necessary to keep high school sports there for kids, because you can learn in the classroom, but when you learn on a field, a court, a pool, a track, it's real. And don't underestimate the impact of sport in education. When I went to West Point, there's an expression, every cadet an athlete, because they understood whether you're intramural, club sport, or varsity, because they felt if you were not, and you had to be at 3, throughout the year. Like when I wasn't playing basketball, I was in intramural baseball or flag football or doing something. And I can imagine that, huh? And actually a pretty good hitter, but with a bad pitcher. But that combination is what this tournament is about, to have that combination of athletics and academics. So anyway, hope we do a good job and you enjoy watching us play tomorrow. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, see you.
Conference will start at 2:20 p.m. 2:20 p.m. We will be starting the Yale press conference momentarily. Yale has arrived to the building and will be arriving shortly. He was actually right on. He was on writing down time. He was right on in terms of the time, exactly 20 minutes. Even though he started 8 minutes early. Doesn't matter. He still took the 20 minutes from 30 minutes. Thank you. Fishies. Nice fishies. It's all about fishies. I usually wear on my grandkids will come to the game. First, this is my first non-white shirt. You know, just pattern. Pattern that. Yeah, a little bit. Risque. You're in the red light zone. Nothing bad. You know, this is a good day. Everybody's a winner. What happened? The co-op, where did they go? Like three school districts instead of 2? Wow, scandal. Scandal in the Interscholastic League co-op. Well, yeah, the games are really 12-10, basically. They're really wet. Yeah, 3 o'clock. So then what's the second game? Well, the second game is yeah. What's up? Good press conference, doing very well. And we're ready to go round 2. Okay, welcome. We now have the 12:20 p.m. press conference with Yale. Number 12 seed Yale will play number 4 seed Duke on Saturday, March 19 at approximately 2:40 p.m. We're now joined by Yale student athletes Makai Mason, Justin Sears, and Brandon Sherrod. When asking a question, please identify yourself and your media organization, and please direct a question to a particular student athlete. Questions?
Andy Katz from ESPN for Justin. Outside of playing on a neutral court, what do you think makes the NCAA tournament such a great equalizer?
It's March, and anything can happen. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. It's one game right now, and every team is focused. So they don't have the home court advantage. It's a neutral court, like you said, and we're hungry. This could be my last game. I don't know, so I'm going to play like it is my last game. So everyone has a big sense of urgency. We're going to play like everything is on the line right now.
Questions for the student athletes?
Hi, Cameron Kaufman, WIBC Yale Radio. Justin and Mackay, it's obviously a neutral court, but you guys were definitely feeding off the energy in the building yesterday, gesturing towards the crowd and getting into it. The crowd was very loud. How much did that help you guys yesterday, and how much role do you think that's going to play tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it helped a lot. I think over the course of the game, even we picked up some more fans, which was kind of cool. But obviously, Baylor being from Texas, they didn't have the biggest fan support just because of the travel. And just to have all of our alumni and family be able to go to the game, I think it was pretty huge.
Questions for the student athletes? In the back?
James Woodhouse, Yale Daily News. This could be for Brandon, but anyone feel free to jump in. You guys obviously played Duke in November. How much are you looking back at that game to try to take something from that?
Yeah, obviously it helps being able to know some of the scouting reports from before. We essentially just recycled the one that we had used earlier on, so we're familiar with the personnel. I think this time around it'll be good because they don't have Emil Jefferson. Obviously, that's different. But they're very, very talented, and we know what we have to do. Obviously, the zone gave us a little bit of trouble in November, so we'll be prepping for that in case they pull that out. But it's nice to have some familiarity with the team that you're playing in the NCAA tournament before you're going into it.
I know we had a question in front.
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Justin, just in general terms, aside from height and strength and timing, how does a player or a program, in your case, become a good rebounding team and a good rebounding program?
It's testament to Coach Jones. Rebounding is a mindset. So when he's recruiting kids, he's looking at how they're playing during a high school game or an AU game. So if they're chasing the ball, they're going to dive on the floor. And if they're going to compete, so once you have guys who have the mindset or the likeliness to chase the ball, then you just drill it in them every day. We have 2 to 3 rebounding drills every day, and eventually it just becomes natural. So if someone doesn't run in for a rebound, Brandon's just sitting there watching. The coaches are going to yell at him. I'm going to yell at him. Makai's going to yell at him. Someone's going to yell at him because our goal is to get every offensive rebound, get a second chance, a third chance, maybe even a fourth chance at putting the ball in the basket. And it's just the team's mindset when we go out there.
More questions right here?
It's Julian Bimbo from the Boston Globe. I guess I'll start with Brandon. How was Dave and Buster's? No, I'm kidding. That's kind of serious, but not really. But no, I just in celebrating the first win, just what was sort of responses did you hear feedback from? Obviously, like alums, dignitaries, past players. What was the response there?
Yeah, so unfortunately, we didn't make it to Dave and Buster's last night. But we had a nice dinner, and it was awesome to get responses from the alums and family members, friends, people that you hadn't talked to in a while. Got a few Twitter followers. I'm starting a Twitter for Makai Mason actually, so be on the lookout for that. So it's been really, really awesome. It was nice to see that Yale was like the top trending thing on Twitter for a while too. You don't see that happening, Yale basketball. So we're just very blessed and fortunate, but it was really awesome to see people reaching out from all over the place to show their support and love and telling us that they watched the game. That was awesome.
I was going to ask who you might have heard from, but also, obviously this is the first one for you guys, but Duke's won 1 million tournament games. I know there's no fear going into a tournament game, but how much respect do you have for that program?
Yeah, so I guess the first question was who reached out. We talked to the class of 1962 before the game, and they reached out to us as well. We had a bunch of guys from previous years who were present for the game as well. And then also, other teams from inside the Ivy League who reached out. So that was really, really cool. And sorry, could you repeat the second half of the question? Oh yeah, I mean a ton of respect. Duke is a a storied program, and it would be wrong for us to go into this game not thinking about that. But obviously, like Justin said before, it's March and anything can happen, and we're just looking to go in and compete and play hard. And again, being familiar with a team like that, we know what we need to do to be successful. Hopefully, we'll be able to execute on Saturday.
Questions for these student athletes? Question in the back.
James Badassi, Yale Daily News. For anyone, you're used to the back-to-back during the Ivy League season. How nice is it to have a day off in between, and how are you guys adjusting to that?
Yeah, it's super nice. I kind of woke up. I was like, okay, let's get the Duke Scout going. We're going to play Duke today, and then realize we have the day off and everything. So I've kind of put everything that's happened yesterday in the back of my mind. It's nice to enjoy it, but I'm ready to play basketball right now. It's great that we've had 4 years of this back-to-back schedule to prepare. So you don't get too high, you don't get too low, and especially with the tournament and all the craziness around it. I could see how teams, they can be content after winning one game, but the back-to-back schedules after having some big wins and some big losses over my 4-year career, you learn how to stay steady throughout the whole season.
We have a question over here.
Mike Anthony from the Hartford Courant from Mackay. Mackay, stepping into the role you did this year, could you just tell me about what you've learned along the way, what's enabled you to be productive throughout the season, and what kind of led you toward that breakthrough performance yesterday?
I guess in the preseason, there was definitely a void left by Javier's absence. And I guess I just through the trust of my teammates, I've been able to step into that role fairly well. And then through the course of the year, progressing through the Ivy League, I was able to hit a couple big shots, and I guess that's helped me, get some momentum going in this game, and I was able to play pretty well the other day.
More questions? Yep.
Hi, Meredith Cash, Duke Chronicle. This is for Mackay. Coach K just talked a little bit about Duke recruiting you early on, and I guess this is a two-part question. Could you take us through that process a little bit, and also does this light a fire for you going into the game tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it does a little bit. Whenever you're not recruited by a team or you think you should be, it obviously gives you a little bit of an edge. I think I can say that for most of our team. But I was a freshman going into my sophomore year, and I went down to their camp, and they had liked me, and Coach K came to one of my AAU tournaments, and I didn't play that well, so it's easy for him to move on, which I definitely understand. But yeah, they ended up getting Tyus Jones, who was a pretty good player as well, so I can't really argue.
Questions for the student athletes? Let's go right in front.
JB Ricks with Time Warner Cable News out of North Carolina. This question is for Justin. What is it about the advantage that you guys bring to the rebounding game? I mean, it's not like you have the extreme size like Baylor had yesterday, but you out-willed them, you out-hustled them. Is that the secret ingredient to why you guys are so successful on the rebounds?
Yeah, it's a mindset. It's all effort, and that's one thing you can control. And a lot of people are asking, what are you guys going to do for Baylor? Who's going to guard this guy? Who's going to guard that guy? I was just telling them the X's and O's don't matter. It's going to be who chases the ball and who gives the most effort for it. And Baylor, they made their late run at the end, and it came down to one stop then, and Brandon was fortunate to get the steal. And it was just playing defense and playing hard, and that's all basketball really is for us right now. That's Yale basketball. We're a blue-collar team.
Question, Andy.
To Justin, over the last couple of years, you guys have been right there with Harvard each of the last couple of years. So how envious have you guys been to see them in the NCAA tournament and the success that they've had?
Yeah, it's kind of tough. We played Harvard close over my 4-year career. And at the same time, when you send an Ivy League representative to the tournament, you want them to lose, but at the same time, you want them to represent the league well just because they beat us. So it's kind of hard to say your true feelings on it, but Harvard's done a great job of showing everyone that the Ivy League can play at this level. And now we're in Harvard's position where we're playing hard now. So I'm sure they're in the same boat I have been in the past 3 years, where they don't want us to win, but at the same time, they want us to represent the league well.
Okay, more questions in the back.
Jacob Mitchell, Yale Daily News. Speaking of the Ivy League, do you think the Ivy League is underrated, especially playing Baylor yesterday, a major conference team, and with the success of Harvard and the other teams in the past in the tournament?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I do think the league is a bit underrated. I think one thing we've talked about before is that we don't get a lot of nationally televised games, so people just really don't know what we're about. But we have seen success in the last few years in the league, and I think that's a testament to the type of play and the level of competition that's there. I mean, guys are just coming in to compete. I think one thing that is special about March Madness and basketball in general is that each team is very unique in their skill sets and their personnel, and sometimes people don't take that into consideration when thinking about who's going to be ranked or where they're going to be playing. It was also really sad to see Princeton this year, who had an RPI of 39, I think, not even get considered to be a bubble team. So hopefully in the future, the selection committee and other people will take that into consideration as well. But I think the league is a force to be reckoned with, and hopefully in the future we can see a two-bid coming out of the conference.
We have time for one more question. Question? Right in the middle.
For Justin, Evan Frondor from the Yale Alumni Magazine. Yesterday, you and Baylor are both very strong rebounding teams. Do you see any similarities between Yale and this Duke team tomorrow?
That's good. Any game plan that? Anything? No, I really can't. I can give you a joke or something, but honestly, no similarities besides we're strong academic schools. But I think we have the stronger front court. We're going to go out there and try and rebound the ball. That's really all I can say. Sorry about that.
I can speak to one thing. I think I think they're very similar to some of the teams we've played, especially Princeton. Coach talked about that in Scout, and just the way they're able to spread guys out, and they really like to penetrate in the middle and kick it out for threes. So. Yeah, similar to us. I mean, we also like to penetrate the ball and get open threes. So I guess that there are some. I think every team in the country likes to do that. Anyway, yeah. So we'll see. We're gonna have fun.
Okay, we're done.
Okay, thank you. Coach Jones here? Coach Jones will be here shortly. He's just finishing up with Westwood 1. Coach Jones is on his way. And again, while we're waiting, just a reminder to turn off your cell phone. No flash photography or video of any kind, including cell phone video. And identify yourself and your media organization when asking a question. We're now joined by Yale head coach James Jones. And Coach, would you please begin by making an opening statement?
Well, I'm really happy to be back for day number 2 here and have an opportunity to continue to play. Our guys played really well last night. I felt really good the entire game. It got dicey a little late with a turnover, but I felt comfortable that we were going to be able to pull it out and make the right plays down the stretch. And fortunately for us, it went our way, and just extremely happy to continue to be here.
Questions? Rich, right in front.
Hi, Coach Jones. Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Of all the great players Coach Krzyzewski's had, the word he used was unique to describe Brandon Ingram. And just when you've seen of Brandon, was that the right word?
Unique. He's really good, right? I don't know how unique he is. He's really good. You know, he does a lot of different things. I guess that's why you can say he's unique, but he can post you up. He can take you off the dribble. He can shoot a 3. So I guess there aren't too many guys that can do all those, the trifecta, so to speak. So he is unique in that standpoint. But for me, he's just a really good basketball player.
Question right here.
Andy Katz from ESPN. James, outside of the neutral court, because if these games were played early in the season, Duke, Yale, Purdue, Little Rock, what makes the NCAA tournament such a great equalizer?
Well, it's just that, you know, you don't have to go on a road and play in somebody else's building where they're so familiar with what goes on. You know, this is new for everybody. As a matter of fact, it's a little easier for us because our guys have played in this building. I think Makai Mason, when he was a freshman, had 20 on Providence, and Justin Sears had 30 as a freshman or a sophomore when he played against him. So, you know, there's some familiarity there for us, and being so close to home, it's more like a home game for us in a lot of respects. So it's a neutral site game in terms of the venue, but the fact that I'm hoping that it's 90% Yale in the crowd tomorrow should be a good thing in our favor, I'm hoping.
Questions? Question in the back.
James Badowski, Daily News. Coach Krzyzewski and his players mentioned the benefits of playing a lot of Saturday, Mondays during the season, being used to the day off in between. Obviously, you guys playing the back-to-back in the Ivy League, how do you think that helps prepare you for tomorrow?
Well, we're ready to go today, right? You know, normally we have to play a game right now, so we're ready to go today, but we will take this day off and rest a little bit and get ourselves ready to go. But it's a great turnaround for us, and at this time of year, there's so much, you know, energy going around and so much adrenaline, it doesn't much matter. You know, the ball's going to get thrown up, our guys are going to get ready to go, so we're just looking forward to it.
Questions? Right in front.
Just Julian Bimbo from the Boston Globe. Not to get nostalgic so soon, but I was just curious, how did the few hours after the first winning school history go? Who reached out? Who talked? What were some of the things you heard? Alumni, people that might have been in know?
It went great. Right? I mean, it was wonderful. I just did an interview on Westwood One, and I was asked about, you know, the joy of the game and the emotions of it all, and being there ready to turn around and play again. And when we were on a bus coming down from Cornell to New York, we had our phones and our laptops out, and the guys were watching the Harvard-Princeton game. And, you know, I tried to watch it, but my computer went out, so that made me mad, so I stopped watching it. So I went back to watching our game against Cornell. So in my periphery, I could see kind of what was going on. And, you know, the feed was bad, and it went out on some guys. And when Harvard finally won, there was an outpouring of this joyous yelp by my team. And it was something that you do when you're a little kid and find some great excitement. And we turned around the next day and played some of the best basketball I've ever seen against Columbia the next night. The first 5 minutes, we were just awesome. And so I'm hoping that this joy that we've had, our locker room celebration was wonderful. I'm sure some of you have seen it online somewhere. And so I'm hoping that we have the same energy going into tomorrow night's game after having such a high from Thursday night.
More questions for Coach Jones? Question in the front.
Kyle Hightower from the Associated Press. They described the Duke kid as unique. You mentioned Justin Sears, described him as kind of an interesting guy. Can this be kind of a proving ground game for him? Have we seen the best basketball game from him yet? Can he still have another notch he can take it to?
Have I seen the best game from him yet? Well, okay, he is unique, all right? Justin Sears is unique. There is no one like him on this planet. I assure you of that. If you watch us closely, he will never roll the right way. He will go off the wrong foot to shoot a layup like I was taught when I was in 4th grade, but he is uniquely good. In terms of his best game, you did not see it last night, for example. I've seen it out of him, and we were in Australia, and we played 4 games over there, and the talent level wasn't great. But he put on a show where he's, you know, I think the last 3 games he averaged like 28 or 30 points a game. He was unbelievable. And sometimes he gets in his own head. And when he's really good, he's shooting a 15-foot jump shot, and then you can't stop him because he's going to drive around you. Sometimes he gets reluctant to take that, but he is a tremendous player, and he's going to make a lot of money playing basketball somewhere.
More questions for the student athletes. We're going to go right in front.
Student athletes.
Sorry. Student athletes. I'm just, yeah, it's ingrained.
I know.
You a student athlete?
I know I look young, but not that young. Come
Well,
on.
this be Coach Jones.
I'm done with school.
Tim Britton with the Providence Journal. Obviously, rebounding has been a strength of this team, not just this year, but the last several years. Personnel clearly matters, but what have you done over that time to make it so much of a focus of what you guys do?
We get in practice, and I got this big stick now. We work on rebounding every day. It's what we do. It's part of our DNA, and we talk about the importance of it every day. So if you were to interview any one of my guys and you ask them what our principles are on our team, they're going to tell you that we really play hard defensively, we rebound the ball, and we share it. But rebounding is something that getting extra opportunities because, you know, coming from a guy who was never a great scorer, I had to get second chance opportunities on the glass. So it's a product of more who I am as a player, understanding the importance of rebounding the ball. And we've been doing that for years. And our first practice every year is a rebounding drill of some sort. That it gets a little crazy now, but it's a rebounding drill early in the season that we're trying to get our guys in the right mindset of understanding that we have to chase it. And the best example of that is Sam Downey. Sam Downey's not the biggest, not the strongest, not the fastest, not the most athletic guy on our team, but he got 7 rebounds last night because he's a product of our program. And he's gotten better through it, and he chases the ball because that's what the guys ahead of him does. So if he doesn't chase the ball, Brandon Sherrod and Justin Sears is going to kill him in practice, and no one wants to get killed in practice.
Questions for Coach Jones.
Hey, Coach. Gabe Zanatini-Frank, WIBC Yale Radio. So one of the problems earlier this year in the loss to Duke was that the bigs got into foul trouble. How important is it after yesterday's performance to know that you can trust the underclassmen to come in and give you valuable minutes off the bench?
Well, it was everything last night, right? I think that Sam and Blake came in and did a yeoman's job, and to step up on the biggest game of the year, and for Blake to knock down a 3 when we called his number, and for Sam to rebound and finish the way he did around the rim was just wonderful. And they have a great deal of confidence in each other, and I think that the fact that Makai was playing so well, he took a lot of attention off everybody else and made it a little bit easier for those guys. And hopefully we can have the same kind of opportunities tomorrow if called upon.
More questions right in front. Hold on a sec.
Jack Dolgen, Duke Chronicle.
I guess it's a two-part question, but similar. First, the Ivy League really has had a lot of success in the postseason the past 6 or so years. You see Cornell winning 2 games in 2010, Harvard winning 2 games really close against UNC. Can you talk first about how the Ivy League compares on the bigger stage, especially as of late, and also just how the Yale program, a couple second-place finishes and now a first-place finish. Has there been maybe a program you've looked up to in the process of, getting to this stage as well?
Well, our league is really good, and I guess I can say that, right? And it doesn't get the credit it's due, mainly because we're not on TV, mainly because we don't have McDonald's All-Americans. But our league is well coached. We have a lot of good players there. And as I said, the coaches do a really good job of getting the most out of them. In our league, you have to coach every possession. There aren't any guys that you just give the ball to and just let them go. You're coaching every possession. And our coaches have done a great job of that, and our players have responded quite well. The national media and the attention that we get from the NCAA, it doesn't do us justice in terms of who I think we are. And a great example, I said this the other night, Princeton had an RPI in the 30s, in the 30s. And they were not anywhere for bubble contention. I didn't see anybody say, hey, they're a bubble team. And you look at last night, I don't think anybody picked us really to beat Baylor. I think it was nice for some people on their brackets to do it, but none of the people, Seth Greenberg or any of these people, Charles Barkley, they all thought that, Yale's going to lose by 1,000, couldn't possibly rebound with Baylor, and because they've never seen us play. They have no idea how good we are. So until you see us play, it's hard to understand. And the fact that we don't have any of these high major games at home where we have a partisan crowd and we have to have all these games on the road, it skews our RPI somewhat because of that. And we don't have that signature win, so to speak, which makes a huge difference in the selection committee making decisions. But even looking at the brackets, the way they came out, you can see the seeding was done by, high major to low major for the most part. So.
Andy.
One follow-up to that, James. You've put your heart and soul into this program over the last 17 years. You've had many teams that could have been in this position and won a game. What has it meant to you that your team was on great display yesterday, embraced the moment, and won a game to advance?
Well, I talked to Mike Lupica today. He gave me a call. He's writing an article, and he said to me, he goes, you didn't need this win to give you vindication. You didn't need this win to be a good coach. I wasn't any better yesterday, Wednesday, than I am today, right? But sometimes through other people's eyes, it has to be. So with me, I understand who I am. I understand what we do. I understand how good our league is, and I understand college basketball better than most people on this planet. So it was great for us to be able to do what we did yesterday, but at the same time, we're not much different than we were the day before.
Questions in the back.
James Benassi, Yale Daily News. Coach, you've talked in the past the difficulty recruiting the Ivy League due to the high academic standards, just limits the pool of players you could take a look at. I think you agree with that, a limited pool. Duke, known as a tough academic school, how often has there been overlap in players you maybe took a look at early on that you see go to a school like Duke or vice versa?
Yeah, there are several guys on Duke's roster that we took a look at: Stanford, Northwestern, Notre Dame. So most of the high major, great academic schools, we've been involved with some kids to that extent. Justin Sears took an official visit out to Stanford. Mackay took a visit down, albeit unofficially, down to Duke when he was a sophomore. So we do have some overlap when that happens. And the scholarship thing is a huge difference for us. We can't offer those, so that makes a difference for some families. And the level of play sometimes makes a difference to some kids as well, being able to play on national TV most every game.
Questions?
Coach, what did it mean to
just remind us? Yeah.
Kyle Heiter of the Associated Press. What did it mean to share the moment yesterday with your dad? There, he was there celebrating there. He was there in the doorway shouting right there. What did it mean to have him there? I know the relationship, and the history of the family there with the basketball runs deep, obviously. What did it mean to share that with your dad?
Yeah, my dad is also unique. He's a wonderful man and loves his sons and children deeply. And, you know, he's gotten to the point where he's learned how to text, you know. So I get texts from him all the time. And for the most part over the years, he's told me, hey, hang in there. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. And he's had this great belief in himself. And that's kind of worn off on me. You know, he's a president of dry cleaners. And I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but it's kind of the hardest work that you'll ever do. And I used to be with him most every day in the summer, and every weekend I spent with my dad, and he gave me life lessons every day. And one of the things he always talked about was how good he was. Right? Like he don't believe in second place, my dad. And he was talk about how he's the best presser in the world. I'm the best. I'm the best. Look at this. I'm the best. 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 And so he kind of wore that into my head as a kid, that you always want to be the best at whatever you do. And, you know, it's something that you think about and try to emulate as much as possible. But it was great to be able to be around him and have him be around my team and see what I do. Like, he's in a hotel right now. I got him a hotel room, and, you know, he's there and he's enjoying every second of this. And I told him, a guy from a local news wanted to have him on, and I sent him a text. So before he left Tennessee to come up here. So when he got in town, the first thing, hey, when am I meeting the guy from the news? When is he taking my picture on it? When am I going to be on? And when am I going to get a copy of it? I want to see it. So I go, Dad, it's okay. I'm going to get you. So he's going to be on the news tonight, so I got to make sure he's around the TV so he can see it. How old is he? He's 2000. He's 76.
Any more questions? Okay. Oh, last one.
Jacob Mitchell, Yale Daily News. Can you talk about the importance of the experience on your starting five? You have three seniors, and kind of comparing that to Duke's starting five, who starts three freshmen.
Yeah, experience is everything here. You know, when you have seniors, and you know, I was really surprised that, you know, Baylor has, you know, three seniors in their starting lineup, so that makes a huge difference, and that's one of the reasons why they're really good. You know, as a coach, you know, I don't know that there have been 4 games this year that we've used all our timeouts. And the reason for that is because I have great confidence in the men on the floor and the leadership that they have. They're great, outstanding young men and young leaders. And they know exactly what we need to do, and most often they get to that point. So having that kind of leadership on the floor, and a guy like Makai Mason, who's really built himself into that role where the upperclassmen trust him and he trusts the upperclassmen, that's been a huge change for us over the course of this year, his growth within that group. And it's been wonderful for us, and one of the reasons why we're successful, and we've won, I think, 18 out of our last 19 games.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Our next press conference will be Miami, starting at 3:10. 3:10, Miami. We have about 2 minutes before the start of our next press conference. 2 minutes. Yeah. You? You? And you. Next is Miami on their way. How you doing? Can you hear that announcement when I say 2 minutes? Could you hear that announcement when I said 2 minutes? No. Okay. You're just keeping track. He is. He's very honest. You know. Yeah. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. I have been there many times. I did. Oscar golfing many years ago. Reagan was the best guy. That was a treat. Yeah, that was something I'll never forget. I was there when the Yankees were going to some of the it's amazing. They feed 4,400 people. All at the same time. You're never quite sure what you're eating. No. That's okay. I live in locally, Harrison, Rhode Island. Thank you. Hey, welcome. Hey, congrats.
See you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to have you back. We're happy to be back. We're joined now by the University of Miami. Number 3 seed Miami will play number 11 seed Wichita State on Saturday at 12:10 p.m. We are joined now by Miami student athletes Tanya Jakiri, Sheldon McClellan, and Angel Rodriguez. We will open up to questions for the student athletes. Please identify yourself and your media organization. Questions? Start right here.
Paul Sontrop from the Wichita Eagle. Hey, Angel, I was wondering about your impressions of Fred VanVleet, and kind of specifically, both of you were really good running the pick and roll. Could you just kind of talk us through some of that, please?
I've always been a fan of his game. You know, I've been watching him for a couple of years now. He's had a lot of success with that team, and he's been in a tournament as well. So, you know, like I said, I'm a fan. I respect his game, and he's gonna be a very tough opponent to face.
More questions for the student athletes in the back?
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Sheldon, you and Angel being fifth-year seniors, a lot of times you're going to be the older guys in the backcourt matchup. Tomorrow night you're going to be or tomorrow during the day you're going to be playing two guys who are just as old, just as experienced. I wonder how you guys approach that.
No different approach than any other game or any other opponent we're playing. You know, we're going to try to win the game, you know, as best as we can, execute the game plan. And, you know, I mean, a lot of people are talking about the matchups of Angel and Fair Van Fleet and myself and Baker, but it's bigger than that. It's not just about us against them. It's about us executing the game plan.
More questions? Right here.
Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Sheldon, can you talk about, you've watched Angel play a lot, and I'm sure you've seen Van Fleet a lot too. How would you compare the two games, and how would you break down that matchup, those two guards? How are they similar? How are they different?
They're very similar. They love to use the pick and roll, great competitors, been in college for a while, a lot of experience, a lot of wins, love to get into the paint and distribute to others, can be aggressive at times. I think they do everything alike, honestly. So it'll be a great matchup for both guys, I think. And I have tremendous belief in my point guard, so I'll take my point guard.
Questions for the student athletes, right in front.
This is Andy Katz from ESPN Angel. How have you handled in years past going against a point guard who's going to come right at you? Not going to be passive, is going to be aggressive from the opening tip.
That's what I love. I truly take a lot of pride, on a defensive end, especially when you face a guy whose reputation is very good, who plays at a high level, and who I know is gonna try to come at me, as you said. But at the end of the day, I trust my defensive skills, and I trust the team's defensive skills as well. Like Sheldon said, it's really great to compare and to look forward to individual matchups, but at the end of the day, it's really not about just me and him. It's about Miami versus Wichita State.
Questions on the end?
Matt Porter, Palm Beach Post. Being that they were in Dayton, it seems like they've been kind of playing, or at least thinking that they've been disrespected, given that they were the top defensive team in the country and all that. Is there any of that for you guys? And I guess more importantly, do you guys need that to kind of be motivated?
I personally never thought anybody would disrespect them. In fact, I thought a lot of people had them winning the 2 games that they did, just because they're really a really good team, have a lot of experience, they're well coached, and they're a tough team. They really like to out-tough everybody that they play, so they're not going to be scared to play Miami. They're not going to be scared to play anybody. But we're not either, so it'll be a great matchup.
Questions in the back?
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Tanya, Buffalo pushed you guys yesterday pretty deep into the game. What's it like to have a challenge like that, maybe the first game of the tournament, and how does that get you ready for, what's to come tomorrow and in the future?
I didn't get to play much, matching up against Buffalo because of the size. They were little, and they had a stretch 4 or 5 guys, and I'm more in the paint. I'm taking care of the paint, not going out there guarding little guys. And my teammate, they really helped me out, and I think looking at games like the game we're gonna match up against Wichita, that would be a good matchup for me. They have some good big guys, and they play more around the basket, and so both on my offensive and my defensive game, I think it's going to be a pretty good game. And we have a great guys who kind of make good passes and cut to the basket, and they spot up for wide open threes. So yeah, it's just going to help me and the team, to go in and out, during the game, and that we couldn't get during Buffalo. So we're just looking forward to Wichita.
More questions? Blue shirt, right here.
Austin Saban, Canes Warning. For Angel, you guys are 2.5 point underdogs tomorrow. Is that something that motivates you, or is that something you don't really pay attention to?
That's something that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. I think, throughout the year we've been, in a way, disrespected. I feel like to a lot of people we haven't done enough to prove ourselves, but at the end of the day, we don't play to prove other people wrong. We play to prove ourselves right, because we know we belong here. And, this is March. This is March, and you see all the brackets getting busted and everything. So the spread doesn't mean anything. I'm sure if we were favorites, they wouldn't care either. They'll just come out and show what they got to do.
Question right here.
Hi, Christy Chirinos from the Sun Sentinel. Sheldon, I wanted to ask you kind of the question Angel got a few minutes ago. Just, were you a little surprised to see where Wichita State was seated, and just, you know, what you've seen from them, just to kind of see that they haven't been getting the respect from some outside that you guys know they deserve?
Personally, I feel like, I mean, they're a great team. I don't think anyone disrespected them or looked at them as, you know, coming into the game as an underdog. But they're a great team. They're physical, they're tough. Like Angel said, they try to outwork you. And I mean, I'm not surprised about the Arizona game. I'm not surprised that they're here. Like I said, they're a great team. They have experience like we do. So, I mean, they're going to be ready to play, and we're going to be ready to play. So, I mean, it'll be a great game.
Question in front. Andy?
Back to Angel. How do you explain that there's been times this season where you guys have had a great high, a Duke game, and then a low with the lost NC State or Virginia Tech, and then that low with Carolina? How do you explain that you guys have had those dips?
I think, you know, more than anything, all of that is a learning experience, and we play in a tough conference. You know, yes, we lost at NC State, but, you know, a lot of other teams lost at other places that we won. So you can look at it however you want. I just look at it as a learning experience, and everything else really has been a very successful year for us. And at this point of the year, whether we were inconsistent, we were consistent or not, it really doesn't matter. It's March, and it's all about what you do now.
More questions right here.
Rochelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Tanya, you're the only guy left from the Sweet 16 team of 2013. Can you talk about how is the mood, and what do you think about this team right now compared to that team from your freshman year at this same point going into the second game?
I would say this team is small. You know, we've been challenged several times, and but yet we bounced back to win games. You know, games that we ourselves, you know, we didn't really play good or rebound pretty good, and we bounced back to win. Compared to my freshman year team, we had you know, older guys who were like 6-year seniors, and but this team is small, bond together, and we've all get along on and off the court. So that has really helped us, and looking forward into Wichita State game. You know, I think we just gonna still pull together as we did against Buffalo, because Buffalo was a pretty good team, and they brought us so many challenges, and yet we were being able to stick together and pull out a win. I think the same thing we're gonna, the same mindset we're gonna take into a Wichita State game, and we're not expecting to blow out them or take a lead and hope that we keep it that way. We just think they're gonna make a run, and we're gonna make a run, and it's just gonna come down to who pulls their team together more and stick to the game plan.
Question right here.
Paul Sondrop, Wichita Eagle. Hey, Sheldon, could you describe Angel's effectiveness running the ball screen, the pick and roll, and how important that is to your offense?
It's very important. We do a lot of ball screen action on this team. Coach L loves that because we have so many great guards that can get into the lane and penetrate. Whether they score it or not, it puts pressure on the defense. And what Angel does is he just keeps his head up all the time, kind of probes off the screen, and that's why you see, you know, a lot of lobs in the half-court offense with him and myself and Davon. So when he's coming off that ball screen, I'm ready to catch and shoot or ready to go back door. So it's a great aggressive play for us.
Time for one more question, right in front.
Tanya, I just wanted to get your thoughts on.
Just please identify yourself again.
It's Christy Chirinos from the Sun Sentinel. Tanya, your thoughts yesterday on just what Kamari was able to do and how much you all needed that last night and need another performance like that from him moving forward.
Yeah, he has been a great teammate, you know, and you know, last night he really stepped up. You know, we really needed him, and his athleticism of guarding the stretch 5 and the stretch 4 guys, and he did a really good job. And on the offensive end, we've always need him, to score a lot. And last night, I think he did a pretty good job also of catching the ball and finishing around the basket. And the same thing we're going to need going into Wichita's game because, they're a very aggressive team in the paint. And we're going to need a lot of physical presence from him and from myself and the other two guys we got, Yvonne and Ibuka. And, we just got to try to outwork them and rebound as best as we could. We've not been doing a pretty good job of rebounding. But tomorrow game, I think we're going to need that physical presence of his and of the entire team also.
Okay, thank you. We are now joined by Miami head coach Jim Larrañaga. And Coach, would you please begin by making an opening statement?
Well, we feel very fortunate to be here in Providence and playing tomorrow afternoon against an outstanding Wichita State team. We're very familiar with Greg Marshall and the fantastic job he's done at Wichita State. Right now, according to KenPom statistics, they're the #1 defensive team in the country. And that obviously is something that we're going to have to address with our players as to how to attack them and how to score against their defense.
Okay, do we have questions for Coach Larinaga? And please identify yourself and your media organization.
Hey, Coach. Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Can you talk about Angel and Van Vliet? How are they similar? How are they different? There's a lot of talk about the matchup. Obviously, it's a matchup of teams, but those two particular guards, how are they similar and different?
I think they are very, very similar. It begins with the intangible qualities that both players have. They're both very highly competitive. They both are terrific floor generals. They both can shoot the three and distribute the ball. They really keep their team organized. But maybe the most important thing they do is they're both tremendous defensively on the ball. So guarding each other is going to be a real challenge for both of them.
Questions for Coach? Right here.
Jim, it's the anniversary of the George Mason run. Did you
please
look at
please identify
Paul
yourself.
Salentrop from the Wichita Eagle. 10th anniversary of Mason. Did you look at Wichita State in the bracket and kind of feel like this was, fitting to end up against these guys again?
10 years ago, we played Wichita State in the Sweet 16. So I really wish it were back in the Sweet 16. That means we both won the second game on the weekend. One of the things that I think is very important for the fans to understand and the media to understand is that seeding at this point is meaningless. Wichita State was an 11 seed and had to play in the first four, and they very easily could have been a 2, 3, or 4 seed coming into this tournament had Fred not gotten injured. I think it's all about how you're playing now, and my team this year is very, very different than that George Mason team, and the Wichita State team is very, very different. These guys have players who have played in the Final Four. They have the two leading scorers in the NCAA tournament in Van Vliet and Baker. So they've got a lot of experience. They've got very, very good teammates around them, and they've got a great culture.
We have a question over here.
Yeah, it's Chuck Culpepper from the Washington Post. You've seen this tournament every which way from, you've lived it every which way from Ralph Sampson and Jeff Lamp on. And I'm wondering if that thing you said yesterday about getting players to enjoy it is something that was learned over time. Is it especially crucial, do you think? Is it what every team needs?
Well, you go back a long way to bring up Ralph Sampson and Jeff Lamp and those guys. But yes, I learned an awful lot when I was an assistant coach at the University of Virginia under Terry Holland. I learned an awful lot from Dr. Bob Rotella, a sports psychologist who has helped me with my career and my coaching philosophy. And in talking to Dr. Rotella in 1999, my first George Mason team to make it to the big dance, he told me I should clap for mistakes. And I said, what the heck you mean by that? And he said, the teaching part is over. As a teacher, you want to work with your players and instruct them. Do that in practice. And the term he would use, train, then trust. Once the game begins, you have to trust them. If there's a mistake, clap for them and let them put it out of their mind. You don't want to dwell on mistakes. And as we moved further and further along in my coaching career, tried to really embrace the idea that this should be fun. Because the more pressure you put on yourself, the tighter you get and the less likely you are to play well. So we tell our kids all the time, this should be a blast. Have as much fun as you possibly can have. But you have to understand what fun is. Fun is playing well. Fun is really executing your game plan and feeling good about yourself at the end of the game.
We had a question in the middle.
Austin Saban, Canes 1. You talked about how good Wichita State is defensively. What makes them so good?
Well, first of all, they may be the only team we've faced all year that's older than we are. They got a lot of old guys who've been around a long time. They've been in the program, they've learned the system, and they are able to execute that under all circumstances. So that experience and toughness and grit that they have is achieved over a period of time, and it has to be earned through success. You don't get that by losing. You get that by fighting through adversity and still succeeding.
Question over here.
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Coach, Buffalo obviously pushed you deep into the game yesterday. When you start the tournament setting, would you prefer a push out of the blocks, or would you prefer maybe something easier to sort of get your feet wet?
Well, I never look at any game as being easy. I have a great deal of respect for my fellow coach and the opponent, and believe that you have to play very, very well to win the game. The opponent has certain strengths and certain weaknesses. We found out very early on that Buffalo could stretch the floor and shoot threes very, very well. That forced us to make some decisions, and our decision was to go smaller and quicker and switch ball screens, which we didn't do to begin the game. Those decisions worked pretty well for us, and we were able to get back in the game, eventually take the lead, and eventually win the game. But I think in every game, you've got to look at it as how are you going to plan to win? And a lot of times you have to have plan A, plan B, sometimes plan C, and plan D. And we're developing our game plan right now to face Wichita State tomorrow. But our game plan against Buffalo included switching those ball screens. Had they missed those threes early, then we would not have made those adjustments.
Question right over here.
Andy Katz from ESPN. Everyone talks about Wichita State, how tough they are. How would you define their toughness?
Well, I think they're similar to a lot of teams that we've played throughout this season. I think Virginia is a very tough team, physically, defensively. Clemson is a very tough team, physically. So I would say they're similar to teams in our league. And because of that, I think it's very, very clear why they've been so successful. It doesn't matter what league you're in. It matters how good you are. That's why we refer so often to KenPom statistics. That measures you against everybody you play and everybody in the country. And Wichita State's #1 defensively. So that immediately gets our attention and earns our respect, because that's a hard goal to achieve.
We have a question right here.
Jim Bob Lutz, Wichita Eagle. After the game last night, Sean Miller advised Fred VanVleet to never let anybody tell him he couldn't play in the NBA. What do you look at Baker and VanVleet, seniors whose actually their stock may have decreased the longer they've stayed at Wichita State, believe it or not? How does that work in your mind?
Well, the question really relates to how does the NBA look at college players? And right now, the NBA scouts and the owners and general managers, presidents look at youth and potential as what they're looking for to build their teams with. I think there are some NBA teams that are younger than Wichita State. These guys have been around a long time. They're fifth-year seniors, and some of these NBA guys are 19 years old. I don't understand it myself. I would much rather have a senior than a freshman, but the NBA would rather have a 19-year-old rookie than a 23-year-old rookie. But that has nothing to do with how good you are. How good you are is how well you perform under game conditions. And those two kids can play against anybody, against high major college teams or professional basketball players. Good is good, no matter what level you're at.
More questions for Coach Larrañaga, right here.
Paul Solentrop, Wichita Eagle. Jim, so convincing your team that Wichita State is a 2, 3, or 4 seed kind of quality, how do you
I
go
don't have
about?
to convince my players of anything. They watched.
Well, it seems
They
to have
watched
been,
the first half last night, and they were like, wow, those guys are really good. I mean, that's clear.
It seems to be an issue for the first 2 opponents, but you think your guys will?
Why?
Well, just translating
Well,
what they
looked at
saw
a
on
seed.
film.
You don't look at the seed and say someone's good. There's only 68 teams out of 350. I think all 68 teams have earned their way into the tournament. And the Missouri Valley Conference, under the leadership of Doug Elgin, has been a tremendous league since I've been following basketball. And over the last 10 years, when I was at George Mason and we were battling to get some national recognition, the first people I called was Doug and said, I want to play the best teams from your league. So we scheduled, Creighton and Wichita State. A very funny story. I called Dana Altman when he was at Creighton, and I said to him, hey, we need to play 2 very strong mid-major programs. And he said, no, we can't. I said, why not? And he said, because, George Mason, as good as you are, will not draw in Omaha. And I said, why? He said, well, we have 12,000 season ticket holders, and they want us to play a big-name, high-major type program. Well, eventually he couldn't find a high major to go to Creighton, so we ended up playing him. But we played him the year we went to the Final Four and the year after. And when we played him the year after, we had the 3rd largest crowd in school history. So what I'm saying is people recognize good teams. And Wichita State and the Missouri Valley produced a lot of great teams over the years. And this Wichita State team is every bit as good as they were when they made it to the Final Four.
More questions? Okay, thank you. Our next press conference is Wichita State, which will commence at 3:55 p.m. That's Wichita State at 3:55 p.m. Yes, I didn't know I had no name. Bernie, I think Nick is getting names for Wichita. Yeah, and Nick, just go over those one last time. Okay, see if we can pin him down. Excellent, thank you. The student athletes for Wichita State will be here momentarily. Nick, let me know when you're leaving. Could be you. You're on vibrate, right? There you go. Welcome. Bernie. This is our 3:55 press conference with Wichita State. Number 11 seed Wichita State will play number 3 seed Miami on Saturday at 12:10. We are joined now by Wichita State student athletes Marquise McDuffie, Shaquille Morris, and Fred Van Vliet. We will entertain questions for the student athletes. Please identify yourself and your media organization. We have a hand over here.
Paul Sontrop, Wichita Eagle. Hey, Fred, Wichita State's got some guys who are kind of breaking through in this NCAA tournament. Do you remember what that was like for you in 2013 and kind of how that, changed the way you viewed yourself or what was possible?
Yeah, definitely. It's fun. First and foremost, it's the most fun thing in the world. It's what you work hard for. It's what you put all the hours in the gym for. And to do it as a young guy, it's even more special because there's not as much expectations, and your freshman year is always hard, ups and downs, full of extreme confidence and lows and valleys and stuff like that. So I'm sure Marcus has been through that this year in terms of high points and low points, and I think this is the time of the year where it can get consistent, and you just focusing on basketball, and it all comes together in the right time, and it can kind of be the jump start of your career.
Questions for these student athletes? In front.
Andy Katz from ESPN. Fred, you guys are always described as a very tough team. How would you define this team's toughness?
It's hard to put it into words, but I feel like anybody that watched that game last night, won't have a hard time understanding what that means for us in terms of diving on the floor, just playing the game the right way, playing as hard as you possibly can, physically and mentally tough, and putting it all together at the right time. Obviously, it wasn't a beautiful offensive performance, but when you can hold a team that averages 81 to 55, all you have to do is make a couple more shots than them, and things will usually go your way. So we pride ourselves on being tough, and we struggle with that at some points during the year, but it's all coming together right now at the right time. And I think for every guy that stepped on the court, they held up to that standard.
Questions for Marcus or Shaquille? Questions? Try right here.
Dave Dahl, KNSS Radio. Marcus, these guys have been through the battles before. They've talked to you about what it's like. Is it as you anticipated? Just describe the NCAA tournament from your perspective.
Yes, most definitely. It's just as anticipated, In the beginning of the season, I asked them if he made the NCAA tournament, how it's going to be. And they just told me by the time that time come, all the hard work going to pay off at the end of the season. And you're going to be used to it by now, and you're just going to be mentally focused for it. So, it's finally coming into play, and I'm blessed to be in a position where I can show the world, and we can show the world how tough we are, how great we are defensively, and how we can win games.
Paul.
Paul Sontrop, Wichita Eagle. Marcus and Shaq, it appears Miami uses a lot of ball screens, really good at that. What's that mean for you two defensively, trying to help defend ball screens?
Shaq, you want to take that first?
Definitely just at the point of attack, of the screen, we just got to be ready to stop the ball, stop them from penetrating into the paint, and execute our defensive principles.
Same thing he said, point of attack, when we come off that screen, hopefully our bigs there to hedge or do whatever they possibly can do to stop the ball, and where we can come back to the ball and guard our guy and stay in front of him. And that's what it is. I mean, if we get that done, I'm pretty sure we'll be in a good position to win.
Question over here.
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Fred, most nights you and Ron, you match up against an opposing backcourt, and you're going to be older than them. Tomorrow you play against Miami, two fifth-year guys, and Rodriguez and McClellan. What's it like to play against someone who's, has almost or equal experience?
It's basketball at the end of the day. Those guys are a terrific backcourt. Obviously, they got tons of experience. So it's just going to come down to who plays the best. There's no advantages, disadvantages. It's once the time to tip off, whoever plays better, I'm sure, and whoever can try to make the most out of their matchups and hopefully win their matchups is probably going to be the key to the game. So we know that. We know that they're a great backcourt. We give them a ton of respect. And we'll just be ready to play and ready for the challenge.
More questions for these student athletes? Paul.
Paul Sondrop, Wichita Eagle. Fred, it seems you and Angel share a lot of similarities as far as pace of play, kind of being in control, all that kind of stuff. Do you see those similarities, and how would you kind of describe Angel?
I mean, I do wonder, like, if we didn't look so much alike or look similar to each other, will we get the same comparisons? I do wonder that. I was arguing with the team last night that we didn't look so much alike other than being a point guard with similar hair and the same skin tone. So I do wonder if, if I was super dark-skinned or super bright, if we would still get those similarities. But he's a heck of a point guard. He definitely runs the show. Change of pace, obviously. He's a smaller guy, so he has to have all those tricks and be crafty to get the job done. And he does it. He does it really well. He's super good off the bounce, creating for his team, pick and roll situations, ISO situations, and he makes big shots. So those are all similarities, that I have as well. And like I said earlier, it's just about who can play better for 40 minutes. And, hopefully we'll have our team ready to go.
More questions? We'll go right in front. Right here. Oh, we'll go Andy.
Thank you. Since you were in Dayton, that means you guys were one of the last at-larges to be in the field. So prior to the announcement on Sunday, how worried were you whether or not Wichita State was going to be in the tournament?
I think we were just anxious more than anything. I think our body of work and the type of team we are, and we felt good about ourselves in terms of getting in. It's just a matter of who, what, where, when, why, that type of question. And as the names keep popping up and you're sitting in the room, you could just feel everybody getting anxious, and it's contagious. And I think it built up a little bit, but as soon as we saw it pop up, obviously the playing game is not an ideal situation, but it is what it is, and we're here. We turned around and got to play in 36 hours, and we get the early game Saturday, so that's more good luck for us, I guess. But we'll take it, and it's just fitting for our story, and we're up for the challenge.
Question right here.
Shaq and Marcus.
And
Dave,
your name again?
Dave Dahl, KNSS Radio.
Thank you.
So you expend a lot of energy, especially on defense, but the team goes deep, and you're getting long timeouts during the NCAA tournament. Any fatigue feeling at all?
The fatigue is really little, I feel, because we got a very deep bench, like you said. But when we end, we take pride on defense and try to go as hard as we can. And as soon as we feel a little tired, Fred will let us know, like, yo, you need to get out or something like that. So then we just give a fist because we want to make sure that we're effective the whole time we're on the court, no matter who it is. You can't be selfish. So no matter 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, as long as you can go hard the whole time and help the team out and give a fist, then that keeps you, ready to go.
Oh, man, well, I'll be tired, because, I just try to play as hard as I can because, I'm the youngest guy on the court probably, so I try to show that I can play the hardest I can on defense, show as much energy as I can. And when I'm tired, I just put a fist up. I don't want to hurt my team, so I just put my fist up, see when I'm out. But I'm definitely going to play as hard as I can, or I could be so tired and then just put my fist up, get out, catch a breather, and get back in the game.
Paul, did you have a question?
Paul Sondrop, Wichita Eagle. Shaq and Marcus, a lot of the two teams you've played before, they've remarked about Wichita State, always in the stance, always playing hard on defense. Do you feel like teams are maybe a little unprepared for that you get out there and and they're just not ready to go against that kind of defense for as long as you guys play?
I have to say teams that, of course, know that we play them next, they notice that we're a pretty good defensive team. But they, we also, I guess you could say, smaller than most of the teams we go against because they got 7-footers. And once again, Miami, they got 7-footers. So I don't think that they are off the charts, just like, all right, just ready. Because when you see us, you don't see like, all right, these guys are intimidating or anything like that. But we go out there and we just play as hard as we can and take pride in defense and rebounding because, you know, that's what Coach Marshall harps on. So that's what we are in, toughness.
Go ahead.
Just like he said, you know, we're a smaller team, so I don't think teams really look at us like very scared, you know, saying they probably don't even respect us at all. But I mean, that's why Coach gets on us to be. We got to work really hard. We got to be very tough because, you know, we're not the biggest team in the world. So we just got to show these guys their defense they never seen before, and hopefully get the win.
Question, Bill.
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Marcus, even though you're a freshman on this stage for the first time, I know you played at a very high level in New Jersey, and you played for Coach Hurley in high school. I wonder how that prepared you for what you're going through now, your first time in the NCAAs.
I mean, in high school, I mean, we know we were, if not the best defensive team in the country too, you know. But I mean, that's high school, you know. When you get to college, it's totally different, you know. The game is much faster. Everybody wants to score. You know, in high school, they probably just got one or two dudes who does everything. But in this, everyone wants to cut. Everybody wants to screen. Everybody wants to find open spots on the court to score. So you just got to be in the right position to play defense and stuff and just be smart and stay locked in, you know. So in high school, you probably could doze off and still get a win or something. But in college, you got to stay locked in the whole game. That's the difference. And that's what I'm working on right now. So hopefully I continue to stay locked in and stay focused.
Okay, we have time for one more question. Anyone? Okay, Paul.
Paul Zondra, Wichita Eagle. For any of you three, there's been a lot of talk about how Wichita State's #1 in the Ken Pomeroy defensive statistics. I'm curious, is that something players know about, watch, care about?
I mean, we all got social media, so we'll see it eventually. And anytime you be #1 in something in the country, you take pride in that. So I'll take it. I don't care what it is. If somebody made it up, we'll take it. But that also means we got to go out there and prove it every game too. So take that as a challenge. I think we show how good we can be defensively, and it's going to take that type of effort, you know, tomorrow in order to have a chance to win.
Okay, thank you. For your information, we were informed earlier that the Wichita State practice at 4:45 will be open to the media. All the other practices were closed. Coach Marshall is wrapping up his interview with Westwood One and will be here shortly. Yeah, well, I mean, it says it ends at 4:35, but he's, now is his time. Coach Marshall is walking down and will be here momentarily. We are now joined by Wichita State head coach Greg Marshall. And Coach, would you please begin by making an opening statement?
Okay. Quick turnaround again, and we're just trying to pour over as much Miami information and video as we can in preparation for another great challenge. And our guys are real excited, obviously, this time of year to continue playing. So we'll have to play as well or better than we did yesterday to keep advancing in this tournament.
Thank you. We'll now open it up to questions. Just a reminder that no video can take place in the room, no flash photography, and when asking a question, please identify yourself and your media organization. Right up front.
Greg Bob Lutz, Wichita Eagle, talked a lot last night about the job that your assistants have done in getting prepared. What's the extra challenge having to do the first four and then travel and then play immediately and all of that?
Well, it's taxing physically, as you know. I mean, last night we probably didn't get out of here till 12:30, 12:45 maybe, back to the hotel. A lot of sleep, but all day today, you know, has been Miami, and the assistant coaches were spending a lot of time on Miami yesterday, last night, and they're doing a great job of relaying that information to our team. And now we'll have to practice a little bit, do some walkthrough. Very light for the guys that played a lot of minutes yesterday in practice today. But there'll be some guys that get up and down a little bit just to try to keep their conditioning, because who knows when some guy that hasn't been playing much will be called on and need to execute for us. So coaches do a great job. You know, today is Brown and Jans, and yesterday it was Higher and Jans, and they'll have our guys mentally prepared for the tip tomorrow at noon.
Questions for Coach? We have a question over here.
Hello, Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. There's been a lot of talk about the comparison between Angel Rodriguez and Van Vliet. Can you talk about the two of them? How are they similar? How are they different? They seem more similar than different. I don't know.
Yeah, they have a. First of all, you know, they're similar size, and both very confident, very talented. Definitely the alpha dog of their team. They get other people involved. They set the table for the other teammates and make them look good. They make great passes and play tenacious defense, come up with the ball, steal the ball, get loose balls. I've watched Rodriguez now for 5 years as a freshman at K-State, right there down the road from us, and he obviously sat out, and now he's been at Miami a couple of years. So I think Fred's heard that there have been comparisons of those guys for a while, and it'll be interesting to see how they go at one another first time in tomorrow's game.
Questions? Bill?
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Coach, to follow up on that question, two of the older backcourts in the field squaring off here with your two guys and their two guys. How do you evaluate that matchup going in?
Well, they've got a year's experience on us. They're both fifth-year guys, and they've got 10 years experience. We've got 9 in their starting backcourt, so that's rare. But it'll be a big key to the game. You know, maybe one team guards outperform the other. Maybe they neutralize each other, and it becomes a battle of who has the most productive front court tomorrow. But it'll be an interesting battle. It'll be great to see. A lot of seniors on both sides, and Coach Larinaga does a wonderful job. You know, when he went to the Final Four in 06, he had to go through Wichita State in the Sweet 16, and now, but that was a home game for him in Washington, D.C. when he was at George Mason. So this is a homecoming for him, being a former PC player. So hopefully we can return the favor.
Questions for Coach? Paul.
Paul Solontrop, Wichita Eagle. How do you describe Miami's ball screen offense and the challenges of guarding that?
Well, you better be good at the point of attack. You better not allow them to play downhill. They've got a number of guys that can really attack you off those ball screens. And Rodriguez likes to split them. The other guys are a little taller and just go right at you and, force you to – they get to the line. McClellan gets to the line quite a bit. So you've got to have good point of attack defense, whatever you're going to do on the ball screen, and then you better have some help as well.
Do we have a question over here?
Yeah, Chuck Culpepper from the Washington Post. I was thinking we have a whole country full of coaches trying to get young players to care about defense to the degree that yours clearly do. And I was wondering what it's like for you personally, even apart from winning and losing, to be on the sideline and see them play as they did, defense as they did last night.
Well, they're going to do that for us, or they're not going to play. So that's kind of ingrained from day one. I mean, we're going to defend, and it's going to be real important that end of the floor. And what we tell our guys is, you come in with these. Obviously, you have skills, or you wouldn't be a recruited student athlete in our program. But in order to show those skills, you got to prove that you're invested in the other end. So it's real simple. You have to say that, but you have to mean it, and you have to show that you mean it from time to time. And guys that don't give effort on the defensive end aren't in there very long. So it's not real difficult. It's just what you demand and what you preach and what you deem important, and you work on it every day. And practice. I mean, our games are easier than our practices. That's what we strive to do. We strive to make games easier than the practices, because we don't practice very long, but when we're out there, we're competing and we're going really hard, and I'm not a very good official, so the practices are pretty physical.
Question right here.
Greg, Andy Katz from ESPN. What day is it?
Friday?
So I thought you'd have to think about that.
That was yeah. Well, I'm not very smart.
No, but
but it has been a whirlwind.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Since Sunday, multiple cities. How would you describe the last, 5 days?
Well, we've been sleeping during the day and then doing things at night, traveling, red eyes. I mean, it's been odd. It really has. It's been odd, but at this point, you're running on adrenaline. We hope we can get one more victory tomorrow afternoon. They say they're sending a plane for us, win or lose, to take us back to Wichita tomorrow. So we will be, God willing, we'll be back in Wichita tomorrow evening, and hopefully preparing to go to another site. I think it's Louisville. I think you told me it was Louisville. But we've got a lot of work to do between now and then, and we've got a great opponent tomorrow. And but it has been just a very grueling, very taxing several days, but it's been fun all the same.
More questions for Coach. Right in front.
John Kickers of the Associated Press. When you look at last night's box score, is anything that stick out to you?
That they scored 20 baskets and had 19 turnovers. That's hard to do to any basketball team, to have them, almost one shy of as many turnovers as made baskets, made field goals, but especially a team the quality of Arizona, with the quality of athletes, the quality of coaching. But we've been able to do that this year, and we've been able to force a lot of teams into more turnovers than baskets. I don't know how many. Our beat writer probably knows, or our sports information director in the back knows, but that's been a trademark of our team this year, and it's very difficult to do, but it goes back to that tenacious defense that we demand.
More questions, and just a reminder that cell phones should be turned off. More questions for Coach. Paul.
Paul Sontraub, Wichita Eagle. Yeah, in view of this crazy taxing schedule, would you have preferred a more consideration for the game time on Saturday? How much of a problem is that for you?
Well, we've got to play the game. Miami got a little bit more rest than we did because they played right before us, but I would obviously prefer the game to be a little later. We played 9:10, 9:20, and now we bump it up to the first game of the day, noon tomorrow. But again, they didn't ask me. They didn't really care for my opinion.
More questions for Coach. Bill?
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Coach, you mentioned George Mason in 2006 and the way that they broke through and got to the Final Four. I wonder if you could speak to sort of the blurring of the lines between quote-unquote mid-major programs and quote-unquote major programs, and then with respect to your program, Gonzaga, and other places like VCU and Dayton.
You know, you can, those of you who have to do that, you can label teams however you want. But if you look at this tournament, it's really in its second, or well, it's in its fourth day because we started it on Tuesday, okay? The tournament's boiling down to like 1 seeds and double-digit seeds. You look at Arkansas, Little Rock, and Chris Beard, the great job, and Yale, James Jones, and Gonzaga. They're a 1 seed. They're just 2 1 seeds. They're an 11, just like us. We're a 1 seed, but we have 2 1s. Then you've obviously North Carolina and Kansas and Virginia. I forget who the other number 1 seed is. Oregon, I don't even know. But a lot of double-digit seeds. Look at Hawaii just won against Cal. You've got Middle Tennessee beating Michigan State. You know, it's whatever you want to label it. It doesn't really matter because the numbers beside the team don't matter once that ball's tossed. And it's just an opportunity for maybe those guys that have always been told you're not quite as good. You're good, but you're not quite as good as that guy that plays at that Power 5 league and that Power 5 team. It's an opportunity for all of those young men to show that maybe they do. Maybe they are as good. They just didn't get the opportunity. So it makes for great theater, it makes for great games, it makes for great drama, and it's a lot of fun.
We have time for one more question. Any more questions? Okay, thank you.